Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Rangers. We're back. This is episode 1 proper. Last episode of course was a review of season 6, our most spectacular season so far, unfortunately losing Champions League final to Man United. Hopefully, maybe, touch wood, we can go one better this year, but obviously domestic action is first on the agenda. Make sure we retain our title, and we're still yet to actually win a treble, so hopefully we can secure one of those as well. As you can see here, we are doing some scouting for some additions to the squad. That is of course going to be the first couple of episodes, since you guys have indicated in the past you do like to see the transfer process. So, scouting, about 6 days ago we started getting some reports in on people that I had instructed the scouts to take another look at. So one of those is Callum Ross. He's a midfielder from Partick Thistle. He's a decent player. He could be a good player for us, I think, but at the end of the day we're a bit past taking players like this. I think a couple of years ago he'd be a great signing for us, but now we're looking for real class. Dominic Sobozlai. I'm going to go with Sobozlai. Dominic Sobozlai, who's at Monaco, worth 32 million, listed for 17.5. For 18. Watford are in with a 16 plus bid. Leverkusen are also sniffing around him. He is a good player, a good central midfielder. According to the reports, he's just ahead of Payet, just behind Fassi, but he'd want 51 to 130 grand, so there's no way we're going to be moving for him either. Scuffet, in terms of the goalkeeper, or Scuffet, nah, not going to be going for him either. He's not interested in the move, and he's not that great either. Julen Sarabia is a young attacking midfielder at Bilbao. He's a very good player actually, good technique, first touch, finishing. He can play a decent pass. He's only 18. Going to turn 19 soon, but again, they have no intention of selling him, so we'd have to go in way over the odds, and he's no good enough for that. Lewis Cook, who's now a 26-year-old Bournemouth player, is a good player in the middle of the park, just behind Payet and Fassi. Would be good as a third option in there, but 17.25 to 26.5 and 38 to 94k. He's no worth that either. And then Fieti Arp, who it's rating as a 55 here. There's no way. He is a hell of a player. I mean, it's a couple, pardon me, of seasons into the game now, so perhaps he's not going to reach the potential he has at the start of the game, but he is a hell of a sensational player, Fieti Arp. If you can get him early, he can turn into an absolute world-class player. I still think he can get there. I mean, he's only 23. He won't turn 24 till the January. He's got pace, got strength, power, a bit of height. He can finish like the best of them. He's a good penalty taker. He's a really good player actually, and depending on what kind of fee, let's talk to them. Let's see what kind of fee they're after. Let's go in at 10 and see what they want. 40, so they want 12. Let's take this out and offer 12. If I can get them for 12, I'll take them for 12. 12 plus a percentage, plus 5%. Yep. 12 million and 5% in the next sale. That is a good deal, mark my words. Mats Noster just now, 10 million with the max that they'd want, but he's an okay defender. He's not that great. He'd be behind Lastly, Denswell and Riedel, and not that far ahead of Bilal Coaster, so we're not going to be in for him. Sefo Mthimkulu is what I'm going to go for there. He's an okay looking South African striker. Maybe we'll get some further reports on him before we make a decision one way or the other. Loris Karius is listed by Fenerbahce. He's a pretty good goalkeeper actually. Leicester are in at 4.6 million. He is better considerably so than Ian Fulton, but I just think I want to stick with the young man Ian Fulton in there. He's been with us for so long now, I want to be loyal to him. Waldemar Anton looks a decent centre back at West Ham, but that fee 32 to 48 million is way too high for someone who's barely ahead of young Brian Lastly. Ibrahim Turhan looks a good striker, actually looks a really good striker to me, but the wage demands are quite high, and Schalke would probably want a hell of a fee too. We'll go in at 10 and see what they say. They're just flat out rejecting it, so nah, it's not going to happen for him, I don't think. Alan Eiling at Arsenal, young goalkeeper, but again they don't want to sell him, so it's not going to happen. Marcelo Parla now, who's on loan from River Plate at Braga, the left back. More scouting required on him, but I like some of his stats thus far as a young left wing back there. Janus Horn, of course, is back up to Edelman, but I wouldn't mind getting a young prospect in there as well. at left wing back. Rafael Angaroni rated at an 18 there. Certainly suggests he's not going to be good enough. Liam Peel is another one here, a young striker at Brighton. He does look a good player to me, but that fee's put me off there. You know, 11.25 to 26.5. He looks good, but he's not as good as Fietiarp. You know, he's not got the power, not got the height. Heading, he's not much of a threat with 10 jumping. Fietiarp is altogether better than Liam Peel, I think. Fioretto there, 17 years old. He's got some decent looking stats as a right wing back. I want more reporting on him before I make a decision. Aydin Avdic, the Bosnian winger at Angers, looks a decent player but nothing more. Remus Micha looks a very good striker actually. I think he could be a wee under the radar job here actually. If they're going to be accepting such a low fee for him, let's go in and see what they say. It's going at 6. They've put it up by 6.5, so they actually want, what, 9.25 or something they want? Working out the formula, 9.25. I'll go in at that. I mean, if we look at him, okay, he's only rated a 48 with the scouts. He can finish 17, first touch is 14, technique 16, heading at 13, 1.8, he's not massive, but he can get up above some of them. Okay, his jumping's only 8. He's got a bit of strength there at 16, bit of pace at 16. He's going to be agile, got good balance. He's a good player, I dare say. What did they pay? They paid 9.25, so they're just going to get their 9.25 back. I think he's a decent one. Ferenc Feher, young player here at West Brom, centre back, looks okay. He's kind of a Bilal Costa mould though. Be as well developing our own lad. Carlos Jesus, the young Argentine striker at Benfica, looks decent, but they don't want to sell, so again we'd have to go in over the odds, which we're not going to do. Adil Taoui, who is a good forward there at Toulouse, but again no intention to sell him. Who's that's interested? Pau, who are a semi-professional team, are interested in signing him. How the hell is that one going to work out? That's very, very strange. I've never seen that before. A club being interested that are absolutely no way in hell going to be able to get the guy. Anyway, Matej Svek, who's a potential wing back, but he's at Chelsea. He's going to want lots of money there, not want to sell him, so it's not going to happen. Bilal Mason, a winger at Schalke, looks very good. Actually looks a decent prospect there, but he's a winger we'd have to convert, kind of like Walter Molina, and I don't really want to go through that kind of job again. Christian Cordoba now. He's an Argentine forward there at Boca Juniors, wanted by Celta Vigo. Yeah, he seems to have quite impressive physicals. I don't know how his technicals are going to, or mentals are going to turn out there, but look at that cost. 1.9 to 4.7 and 3.6 to 8.5 wages. Let's just do it. Let's just take the risk on him. He's injured, but it's just a pulled calf. So they really want, what, 3.5? 3.5, 20% in next sale. That to me looks like a good deal. A lot of negotiations going on here. Mick Smith is another full back. Looks pretty decent actually. Right full back there at Birmingham, but we'd have to go in over the odds for him again, and he's just better than Jordan Houston. He's not as good as Byram and Alexander-Arnold. It's going to be difficult actually for anybody to make it as a right wing back with Byram and Trent Alexander-Arnold both in there. Leandro Benitez here, again more scouting required on him, the Boca winger. Saruliet looks pretty piss poor judging on the 28 rating he has, but we'll let the report come in. Pablo Medina and an 18. Yep, definitely need to wait for that report coming in, but he's probably not going to make it. Umit Turan now looks a decent striker on loan from Spurs, but not that great. Carlos Lopez now has an 80 rating. He is a wonder kid. He'd be 49.5 million though to pry him away from Levante, which I could even do if I wanted to. Kieran Williamson from Sunderland could be available for a reasonable fee, 5.5 to 14.25, and he is a young, only 21 years of age wing back there. He would actually have a fairly decent, reasonable wage demand. A couple of teams are interested in Byram, so maybe we move Byram on We put a pin in Kieran Williamson to see what kind of money we get for Byram coming in. He could be a potential option there as backup to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Valentin Matlis, I'm not that interested in. Certainly don't need a defensive midfielder. Vincent Abubakar looks decent but nothing special when he's 31 years of age. Fernando Saviano, we need to wait for more coming in. He looks to have some pretty decent stats there for me, but the 28 rating for the scout suggests otherwise, so we'll wait for more info on him. Beto da Silva, decent player, decent bit of strength, pace, etc. Would cost 15.5, which is more than Fiete Arp, and he's not as good as Fiete Arp, and he's older than Fiete Arp. So I think that's a pretty easy equation. Romelu Lukaku here is actually up for 36.5 million at Inter Milan. He would be an excellent signing, but his wages would be ludicrous. I think 225 grand is utter ludicrousness, ridiculous. He'd have no interest in the signing anyway, so he won't be joining us. Victor Wanyama, the former Celtic man, of course, is in China. They don't want to sell him. His wage demands will be 175 to 250 grand, so there is absolutely no hope in hell we'll get him. Stuart Rice, 20 years of age, left fullback at Hamilton, 2.2 to 6.25 million. Definitely looks a prospect actually out on that left hand side. I wouldn't mind signing him and loaning him back. Let's go in at 4 million and see if they'll accept that deal where we loan him back. Loan back length, let's do end of season. They're acceptable. They're acceptable. They're accepting 4 million and loan back to the end of the season. Excellent. I wouldn't mind that happening. Francisco Jose Bergantinos, 20 years of age, midfielder at Malaga. Looks okay, but nothing special really. Walter Gonzalez, 17-year-old Racing Club midfielder. Again, we need more info before we can move on him. Juan Ignacio Caggiano, who is a 17-year-old Boca Juniors midfielder, who again we need more info on, but he possibly looks an option in the middle of the park there. Adrian Basioli, the centre-back, again we need more info, 18 years of age, Racing centre-back, who does look pretty decent actually, but we do need more info on him. Matthias Bennett, he looks okay as a winger there. Rayhan Tuluk at West Brom, the striker, looks pretty good. He's got a hell of an amount of pace. He can cross as well, so he would fit into our system pretty nicely. Leicester and West Ham also interested, 15 to 24.5 million and a huge fee, so perhaps just too expensive for our blood at the moment. And Laxalt there, who is a good player actually, can play in the middle of the park, can play as a wing back too, but unfortunately, you know, that sort of 11 to 18 million bracket there at 30 years of age, wanting possibly up to 87 grand is too rich for my blood. Let's just continue a little bit. As you can see here, we actually rejected it's possible 7 million for Byram. He's worth way more than that in my eyes. So Arp, first team player, absolutely, we'll offer him that at the moment. Finalise that promise. Nixa just wants to discuss the contract. He is up for being rotational. We'll offer him 25 grand on a 5-year deal. After reaching 20 games he can go up to 30, but no 37, that's a bit much. See if he'll take that. Nope. Okay, he wants... It's a bit weird. Right, let's drop you to 25 and 32.5 for a 4-year deal then. Seems to only want a 3-year deal. 25 and 33.5. I'll cave to the 3-year deal. Fine. Cordoba is interested in being backup. Who's that? That's the wee Argentine striker with a lot of the pace. Right, fine, we'll do that. And Rice is okay with being backup. Stuart Rice at Hamilton, absolutely. 5-year deal, tiny contract, and a loan back to Hamilton. No problem with that. Stuart Rice is willing to sign for Rangers already. Fair enough. Fair enough to the boy. Now, of course, a Rangers boy. Possible, 3.5 star rating for him. And of course, right back on loan to the Hamilton Ackies. Look at his mental stats, but 20 determination, 18 teamwork, 13 work rate. Can mark, he can tackle, he's got pace. We can definitely make something out of him. Played 35 games starting in the Premiership for Hamilton Ackies last year. Hamilton Ackies, who, please say they didn't get relegated, who came 8th, so he'll be playing another full season in this league. Fieti Arp's contract, he's not willing to make the first move, so let's give him 45 grand. Signing on of 2.5. Agent fee, unfortunately, of 2 million. Bonuses, appearance, goal, unused sub. Appearance fee of, let's go 15k. Goal bonus, he's probably going to score hundreds of goals, so we'll give him like 7.5. And an unused sub fee of 5. What does he think of that? He wants to make adjustments. He wants 61 grand. Jesus. I'll give him 50. Let's see what he thinks. Yearly wage rise of 5. After reaching international appearances. That's kind of cheap because I don't think he can play for Germany. I don't know if I took out the fake German team. Oh no, he can play for Germany. I did take that out. Okay. Fair enough. If he plays for Germany, I'll give him 80 grand. Goal bonus is a bit higher, but that's fine. Right, let's talk 55k, 5-year deal, and we're done. We're done. Great signing that. Power and pace. Excellent in that front three. Christian Cordoba, let's see if we can squeeze him down to 5. 5-year deal. After reaching career club games, you can rise to that, no bother. He wants to sign 2. This is a hell of a quick moving transfer window here. We're going to end up with about 6 strikers, but that's fine because we play 3. Chelsea bidding for Rodrigo Fassi again, but it looks like an insulting bid. Chelsea make Fassi bid, possible value in excess of 12.5. Absolute spit in the face. What's his minimum fee? 30. Give me 30. Or you're not getting him. Dundee want to loan Lewis Davidson as a key player. Dundee will be playing at their football in the Championship. Aye, alright. Since we're signing all these new players, he can go there and be a key man. 100 grand for Fopala to Clermont. Absolutely. 100 grand for Fopala's doing pretty well, I think. Squad feels I'm being harsh not letting Fassi go. I don't want to lose him. Would be considerably weaker. I have no interest in making us less competitive. That was productive. Thank you, guys. Jordan Houston is going on a season-long loan to St Johnstone, who will also be playing in the Championship. Playing as a key player down there, he should definitely get them back up though. It would just pain me to see the boy sitting here on the bench getting no action with the 2 right wing backs clearly in front of him. Obviously Byram and Alexander Arnold, so let the boy go and play some football even if he is down a division. Rodrigo Fassi wants to move to a bigger club. Absolutely no chance. Where are we? You should stay here. You're an important player. You'd just be another squad member somewhere else if you left. Yeah, I'll go with that. That's true. It's better to be a big fish in a small pond at times. I'll stay for now. Excellent. Excellent. He's still got 4 years left on a 72 grand contract. He's going nowhere unless United or Chelsea meet the 30 million release clause, which one of them might do. I don't want that to happen, but if it happens, we get 30 million. We move on. We find another young prospect and we nurture him and raise him up to be just as good as Fassi is. Somebody who came to us as a decent Argentine midfielder. Actually, let's be fair, he came to us as a very good Argentine midfielder. Now he's a world-renowned player with Chelsea and Man United sniffing about. I feel like he owes us at least. Rangers are the most reputable club after overtaking Celtic in a list published today. How has that just happened? We've moved up to 4 stars there. Excellent rep rating, where the Celtic have impressive. Obviously being in the Champions League final is going to do that for you. I feel like being in a Champions League final would boost Rangers' rating a bit more than that. Leicester are stepping up the chase for Sam Byram. Well, they could get him. I mean, we've got that young Sunderland guy as a possible ready-made replacement if we want to move on him, but he's worth 6.25 million. He's just played in a Champions League final. He had his best season of his career. We're wanting double figures at least. Fopala's going to Ajaxio for 100 grand and we're getting 30% of any profit they make on him. He's a decent player. He could probably make a move from there. The board wants to discuss an increase in available budget for coaches. Yep, great idea. I'm never going to knock back something good from the board. Opening day, we host Celtic. What? At Murrayfield, because Ibrox is getting developed. It's going up to 64 grand. So yep, we are taking them on at Murrayfield on opening day. $1 million in Premiership TV rights, that is an absolute insult. You'd think that would certainly go up after Rangers made the Champions League final. Expectations: win all of the things domestically and reach the group stage of the Champions League. We can put it up a bit for a slight increase in budget, but we might as well just say reach group stage. It is pretty good actually that the board haven't went nuts and expected us to reach the semi-final or something just because we made the final last year. They seem to have at least... What's this? Worried by... Scott Smith has a significant setback in attitude. Who cares? He's absolute horseshit anyway. Remus Miksha is joining us. 10 million coming out of our 38 million remaining budget. Absolutely, let's push that through. Get him in. I wasn't kidding when I said I wanted all these strikers to sign. 14.75 coming out of our 27.5 budget for Fieti Arp. Chiacherry, a new average rating record with an 8.08. That's absolutely ludicrous. So that's 2 of those strikers already in. It's going to be really competitive for the front 3 places this year. Christian Cordoba, the forward, will get his work permit decision on the 2nd of July as well. Riedel is annoyed at not wanting to move, not being able to move to Chelsea. That's fine. Lewis Davidson going to Dundee on loan for the Championship season ahead. Hopefully he'll get on well down there. Manuel Riedel is suddenly injured after being pissy about not getting a move. How coincidental. It's almost time for the new boys to come in. I think we get the new boys in, we review the squad for the season ahead, and we'll call that an episode. Possibly have some outgoing transfers next time. Bangor City winning a game there in the Champions League. Wraith bid 14k for Danny Finlayson. Yeah, fine. He's never really came on, Danny Finlayson, so he wants to go to Wraith, he can go to Wraith. Go and have a good career, son. Already won League One before in his career. Hopefully he can go down to Wraith and do a job for them down at that level, I think. Come on, get the new boys in. Actually, we'll see that work permit decision on the 2nd of July before we do the squad review. Lewis McLeod's 10% sell-on fees cancelled. He's been given a free from Brentford. He looks a decent player. Somebody should snap him up. Birmingham are interested, yeah. I was thinking like a Hearts or a Hibs or something could snap him up. Franco Lopez. I've got more info on. He looks a bloody prospect. It's a shame he's 22 already. If he was 19 or something, he would be a good project to snap up. See, Roma are interested in Morelos. If we could move Morelos out for a high fee, I would take that at the minute. Good player, but the likes of Arp, definitely better than him. It's just about incremental increases in quality now in the squad. Okay, so we're about to see the new boys in. See what the coaches actually make of them when they arrive. Morelos is transferred to Roma, nothing to do with that. Now that we are actually past the 1st of July, the transfer window opening elsewhere in Europe, maybe we'll get some more bids for our players. And hopefully we see some decent fees. The insulting 12.5 million for Rodrigo Fassi, a full Argentine international midfielder who just helped drag Rangers to a Champions League final and they're bidding 12.5 million. Absolutely insulting. Right, two players arrive, Arp and Miksha. We'll send them both on language courses. Yep, Arp 3.5 with potential 4. He is better than everyone apart from Chia Cherry, I'd agree with that. And Remus Miksha there, 2.5 potential 3.5. I think that's a bit harsh actually on the boy. And he's better than Morelos. He's about the same as Dapo Mobudi, who I'm interested to actually find he's better than Morelos. I wouldn't have guessed that, but he is apparently. Fair enough. Board are delighted, as you would imagine. Cordoba's work permit has been turned down. We've appealed and we'll find out on the 6th of July. Let's go to the 6th of July and find out what happens with his appeal. Come on, stupid Home Office. Give him his permit. How many wee Argentines have we brought through this club so far? There's no way they're going to turn down the work permit, surely. Man United in for Manuel Riedel at 11.75. Absolutely not. No chance, no chance. He's worth 10.5. We want 40. Nah, they're still playing small change here. 40. Don't insult me with another low ball offer. 40. Nah, this is ridiculous. He is a world class centre back and they keep bidding an insultingly low amount. Look at him. 3.5 potential 4 stars. Crazy physicals. He can play a little bit. Good heading, tackling, defending. Already been to a Champions League final at 22 years of age. Yeah, Fassi's annoyed with us, but that's fine. 4.5 stars currently. Excellent midfielder. As I say, full Argentine international with 11 caps. No way he's leaving. He'll get over being pissy. We're only 2 days now from the decision from the Home Office. Juventus in at 13.5 for Chiacherry, which is an absolute insult of the highest order. No monthly instalments, no after appearances, none of this crap. Right in here at £60 million, which they're going to reject. Seen that coming, that's fine. He's just sensational, Alberto Chiacherry. There is no way he's leaving unless we get an absolutely ridiculous fee. Finlayson's away to Wraith, good for him. Yeah, I mean, look at the boy. He's only got 3 Argentina caps, mind you, but 4-star rating. Pace, power, technique, mental attributes. Crazy player. 7.96 average, 21 assists, 21 goals in 27 games. Cannot argue with how well he did last season. Our under-20s beat Airdrie under-20s 7-0. Cammy McCall, a standout player there, but looks pretty crap. Cordoba's work permit has been rejected. He can still sign, but he won't be able to play. No point, we'll cancel that. So, that's going to do it for this episode. We've only got 13 million left, and we're 15 grand over our wage budget. Maybe going to be moving out some players, but we got in 2 excellent strikers and a potential left wing back there who's going to be spending the season on loan at Hamilton before he joins up with us. We've got rid of Fopala and Finlayson so far and loaned out a couple of other players. So looking at the squad for the season ahead, see if anything needs trimmed. We've got McCrory and Fulton there as the goalkeeper. Jesus Christ, this squad is gigantic. Alright, let's see. Darren Graham is wanted by Aberdeen on loan. We absolutely will offer him out. First team player. I want you to pay 100% of the wages, but maybe somebody will come in even if they can't afford that and give us another offer. Peter Fisher is a youth player, 16 years of age. You can go back to the under-20s. Last Lane Coaster will have a chance. Alex Donald. Yeah, I just don't know if he's going to make it, Alex Donald. He can certainly go back down to the under-20s at the moment. Connor Moore will play a part. Curtis Franchese can go out on loan, hopefully. He's done well to come on a little bit last season. I want 100% of his 30 quid a week to be paid when he goes out on loan. Lewis Davidson already out on loan. Stephen Ramsey is pretty average, can go back to the under-20s. Paez and Fassi there, of course. Rice is on loan. Tim Gallagher, of course, player. All these guys absolutely will be playing a part. Dapo Mabudi, we'll see what happens. Jonas, likewise, we'll see what happens. McCrory, Wallace, Denswell. Sebastian Young, we can absolutely allow to go. St Johnson want to load him. Bielefeld want to take him back to Germany. Yeah, we'll let him go. He was a decent player who played a couple of games as a backup lad. But we'll definitely let him go now. QPR want to sign Dimitri Mitchell. We'll offer him out, see if MD will take him. Let's just advance a day or two and see if MD wants to take any of those players. Okay, we've got 9 offers. Graham loan offers. Dundee United as a first team player will absolutely accept that and reject the rest of them, the unresponded offers. Loan offers for Francesi down in League 2 from Peterhead and Airdrie. Fine, no problem with that. Bid for Sebastian Young, 525. Let's ask for 625. Perfect, we're just getting value for him. What did we pay? 575, so we would actually make profit, and we got 140k for his loan move to Greuther Fürth. So a good profit on him. 500k being offered from Portsmouth to take Dimitri Mitchell. I'll accept that. Dundee United bidding the same, but far too high of a selling wage contribution there at 575, whereas Portsmouth only want us to pay 1.7. See if anybody else makes a bid for anybody else. If not, we'll call it here. A good start to the transfer window, I think. Yeah, well, that's going to be it for this episode. Really explosive start to the transfer window, getting a lot of signings there. Those 2 strikers coming in to bolster the ranks up top. We're getting rid of a bit of the dead weight now. Finlayson away, Fopala away. Looks like we're getting rid of Mitchell there. Looks like we're getting rid of Sebastian Young as well, so we'll trim the fat a little bit. Maybe we'll be accepting a big bid for somebody else. Maybe like some Morelos could move if we get a good offer for him. But that'll be next episode. So listen, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We are back now. It's only going to be a couple of episodes before we're playing some matches. And we are going to get, over the next week or two, we're going to get multiple episodes some days and at least 1 episode a day. So we will be making some good progress here to make up for the time lost when Man United bust me and I couldn't play this game without crying, to be perfectly fair, for losing that Champions League final. But as I say, more episodes to come. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have done, please drop down below and hit that like button. And I'll see you next time as we go through some more transfer business.